As today we are going to see the Eastern political thought as explained by various political philosophers, and Kautilya and Manu plays an important role in the Eastern political thought. So as we go on forward, we can see who's Manu, what is his political ideas, and what are his contribution to Vedic literatures. So, as we go on forward, Manu, who's a great political philosopher, which is expressed in the form of Smriti or Dharmasastra, occupies most important place in Hindu literature on the regulation of life in all social, economical, religious, and cultural aspects, and therefore there is a controversy regarding about the period of life of Manu. The work and the literature which is composed by Manu is known as Manusmriti. It is the one of the important work of Manu regarding about Hindu literature. He is called as the founder of human race. Smriti means the recollection of memory. It means the collection, what is in the meaning memory, what is the memory of human race. And therefore there is nothing to tell about Manu, and who is a person who lived in Vedic period. And in Hindu literature and in Hindu, according to the Hindu traditional, we see the basic classification according to him. So let us see what are the political ideas of Manu, what is the contribution of Manu given towards his thought, towards his rules and regulations, towards his philosophy. So as we go on forward explaining, we can see the political ideas of Manu, which is explained in form of points wise. So that is origin of the state, and the second one role of the king, and the third one organs of the state, the fourth one power of Danda, and the fifth one is social order, and the sixth one is Varnaashrama dharma. So as we go on, we can see what are the brief explanation and elaboration is given towards the origin of the state. And let me see what is the elaborate contribution to the origin of the state by Manu. The origin of state by Manu says state is a natural before the establishment of the civil society, as the state was made by God, which was directed by a king who is a prophet of God. And the aims of the state is to develop dharma, and it is developed by virtuality in the matters of literature, of science, etc. And as we go on forward, the role of the king is the second point, which is contributed by Manu. It is one of the view that king is a divinity in human form. Is everybody is formed by the creator by taking particles from the bodies of divine guardians. Manu starts explaining by the role of the king, the form of human, that is nothing but the king is a combination of Yama, Varuna, and Indra. Manu takes the combination of the king in the three forms of divine gods. So Yama, the god of death, Varuna, the god of rain, Indra, the god of wealth. He performs his duties according to the instructions of God, and therefore he explains in several aspects, and he defines the qualities of king as in the form that king should be humble, the king should have control over his senses like kama, krodha, mada, matsarya. So the king should be a man of pleasing manner and intelligence. He should respect his people. Manu says that the king should have human qualities. King should move among the people. King should be looked as an ideal example where everybody follows. You should be humble and modest. You should not be misunderstood or weak minded. Humble particularly refers to non exhibition of power. The king must be well versed in scripture. You should be a foundation of knowledge and dutiful. And therefore, he identifies certain qualifications and credentials for advisors. And therefore, we can see that according to the Manu, the king shall establish a law that may be practiced by virtuous. As we see, long back before in Western political thought, Plato explains the king to be virtue. So here we see Manu explains that king to be virtuous, but the laws should put forward should not offend the customs and tradition of the country. Manu strongly advocates moral roots of political power. Manusmriti vests the king with the power of administrative orders which were obeyed by the subject. And the third point which we can see that are the organs of the state which is explained by Manu, that is, he regards the state as an organic unity and a natural institution. And we see that there were 7 constituents comprising a state. So in Eastern political thought, we come to know the 7 constituents comprising a state. The 7 constituents are the king, the ministry, the territory, the resources, the fort, military, allies. So here, among the 7 constituents are regarded as the limbs of the body politic. Manu takes the 7 constituents into the limbs of the body. That is, first one, he explains the state. It can exist and function efficiently only if all the limbs of the body politic become mutually integrated and cooperative. And no one particular limb can be accorded greater importance over to the other. Though the king and the ministry are the most important limbs of the government, other constituents are indispensable for the proper functioning of the body politic. And further, we can see that functions of the government, and according to Manu, the government has to control or guide 2 elements: protection of safeguard and revenue. The government has to function the strategies of the political ideas, and therefore the 4 kinds action in the society are Sama, Veda, Danda and Dhamma. Manu says that the state has to protect the internal and external aspects. And as we go on forward, the 4th point is power of Danda. However, Manu says that Danda is not meant to punish everyone at will. Danda should be used with discretion. Discussing the use of Danda, Manu says that Danda scares away the people and they get distressed, and if Danda is not used adequately, king loses respect and command in the eyes of the people. When Danda is used sparingly and a balanced manner, the people will be happy and the state progresses. Manu attaches greater importance to Danda. He goes to the extent of calling Danda as the real king, the real leader and the real protector. How Manu could be imagined, how Manu has been contributed about Danda. C is intelligence towards the king. The only one aspect, impact of Manu is nothing but Varnaashrama Dharma, that is social order. So here he considered the 4 classes of the society to the parts of the body. The Brahmana is the head, brain, Kshatriya is the strength, arms, Vaishyas are the ties, desire, and Shudras are the feet, that is service. Manu explains the status of women, that is nothing but Manu accords the highest respect and regard for women in the society. Manu says where women are honored, gods are pleased, but where they are not honored, no sacred rite yields results. Manu's family hierarchy, mother comes first and father next. His contention of this grading is that women folk are more to moral values and principle of the society. To prove his point, Manu says that in the traditional Hindu marriage, bride is asked to make a certain promises, but not so in the case of bridegroom. Manu also says that there should be division of labor, internal management, and household. They should be under the four walls. Family, that is that household work such as cooking, taking care of children, and men folk should be done by women, whereas external management. The division of responsibility was made to facilitate stability in the family. The only one aspect, impact of Manu is nothing but Varnaashrama Dharma, that is social order. In all aspects we can see the contribution towards Manu, the origin of state and the origin of and the role of the king and the role of the and the origin of the government has been explained and elaborated clearly, and we can satisfy ourselves while studying and getting knowledge throughout that. But the only impact of Manu is Varnaashrama Dharma, that is nothing but, according to Manu, the society was divided into four classes, and the four sections emerged from different parts of God. So Manu's classification follows as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. That is, he has been compared that to the head, arms, thighs, feet. So as we see the further, and we see previously that he has been taken the seven constituents in the state as the limbs of the body, and here also he considers to the parts of the body in Varnaashrama Dharma. So Brahmana is the head, it is the head part. It signifies as the position in the place of the head, means Brahmana will always put into the first position, and where they are given a honorable respect in the society, and they are the people who are the superior people who are always respected and given high status in the society, as Manu explains, because the Brahmana is the superior people who are going to dominate under the two classes, that is Vaishyas and Shudras, and the people who are dominating in the brain power, who will go under in a rigorous education, and who will